elect has obtained and rest. See, because that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding has been given to the elect, man, which of course we hope to be on that number.
And because these people are so out down, these people don't think they safe, man. They've been in America so long, they think it's normal for niggas to eat pork, smoke cigarettes, and coffee as soon as you go outside. It's showing you how get these things out of here since these are being power. You know?
Going back to that Ecclesiastes, I tell you that an unwise king destroyed the city.
All the people on the earth, you start cutting it, it started losing the strength. First 5,
You got a concrete jungle. You know what I mean? Perfect example right there. Earth right back. You know? But this guy, here it is. This guy, he's not fit for rule, man. You know, he's totally destroying the earth, man. You see? And it's a constant fight, man. It's like,
things are good to God. I mean, and like it says, all those things are good to God. Because even certain things made up on the good reason, you know? Even, poison ivy got their wasps, you know, bees, even creatures that's not that sexy, are returned unto Eve. Sinners, they are turned unto Eve. Something simple as cocoa. Esau actually turned into damn with crack cocaine, which ultimately destroyed our damn nation. And you don't think he was, you don't think he knew what he was doing when he was doing that, man? Going back into wine and even these different foods that we eat, man. Nigga got processed.
Like one thing that can be clearly done without any additives added on is wine and liquor. But yet with Esau, when he deals in his wines, he puts sulfates in it, man. That's why Jake be having these little skin ailments or whatever they drink wine. I know that's why outside of the Passover I don't deal with it. Because the sulfates, it helps with you. It mess with you. Because that's unnatural, man. Why did he turn something good for you to eat?
And then he push it forth like it's something good. He preserved the wine.
Yeah.
It's the wine that you made him. I'm a big over spot for the Egyptian age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No sulfate.
No sulfate, and it was whole.
Yeah, okay.
But it just shows you what happens once the wicked is in rule, man.
Right.
Only thing that's going to happen, the only thing that's going to get pushed forth is nothing but damn death, man. You know? God bless that.
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 4:13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their bread, so I can eat their defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, whether I will dry them.
That's it. It said, brother, while I dry them, there's meaning no escape. You got to consider children of Israel have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And even going back, like the brother was bringing out all those different things, man. You know, that is good for the godly. But here it is, Esau, he throw his little juice, his dash of poison in there, and then mix it up, you know what I mean? And he present it to you, you know? Put a little dust on it, make it look pretty, and present it to you, not knowing that shit kill you. Like the brother spoke on the Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? When you thirsty, you ain't got shit else to drink. You know what I mean? Mouth drooling and shit. You know, it's cold too. Yeah, it's sweat, man. You got it out.
You're 100% juice.
Oh, yeah.
That's on the dust on to make it look pretty. He's telling you it's 100% juicy. But when you go into the ingredients, it's really depth.
Yeah.
You know why the Lord tell you how you should drink poison and not that, man. And then just goes with the different things that Esau present to you, even your water, man. You know, this nigga got all sorts of chemicals. Water got ingredients.
Yeah, that was why you got different brands of water.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? You know? The nigga charge you for it too. You know, these things come from the earth. You know, but this guy gotta go, man. That's the thing, man. That's why we need prophecy to happen, man. Matter of fact, we get Revelation 12 and 12 on the show. Yeah, we need prophecy to happen, man. We're not offended in these things happening from the planet Earth, man, because we understand.
No
Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
So yeah, this guy Esau, Edom, he knows that his time is up. So now he's gonna get ready to come down with great wrath, man. You know, his mindset is, if I can't have it, nobody can, man. You see? So here it is again, like I said, this ain't the end all be all, man. Babylon the Great, and once this place is done away with, the kingdom of heaven is gonna be put on top, man. All right, and that's just thus says the Lord. So like I said, we're not offended in these things. We get get that Amos 3 and 7.
Book of Mark 13, verse 19. For in those days shall be affliction, such was not from the beginning of the creation, which the Most High created unto this time, it shall be. And except that the Lord had shortened those days, and no flesh should be saved.
That's how you know Jacob's trouble gonna go by fast for the lack of better words, man. But at the same time, he says, look, it's gonna be no days like they have never been before, man. You can read it again.
Mark. Book of Mark 13 and 19. For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which the Most High created unto this time, and it shall be.
Add to that point, that's indicative of Esau. You see? Read that one more time about Esau.
For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the
Not from
creation.
the beginning, because Esau wasn't at the beginning. You see? Esau wasn't at the beginning. Yeah, Cain, sure, true indeed, but he didn't come in his perfection until he came as Esau, and he's in his ultimate perfection now, and he hasn't even reached his climax in power. That's the crazy part about it.
And if I may add too, because these captivities that we've been in, the Assyrian, the Babylonian, it's not going to compare how this captivity is going to end up.
Yeah, because he learned all of the torture techniques, all of the abominable things. There we go. You think he ain't got something worse than that, man? That's why the Lord said that in those days, which days? The days that we're in now.
The days of Esau.
Yeah, the days of Esau. It continue. Yep. It said
For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which the Most High created unto this time, neither shall be.
Neither shall be. So there's going to come a time that there will be an affliction upon the face of the earth. But the Lord shall come back and what? Defend it and cut it off. That's why he's speaking he's going to make the time short, man. Because if not, there shall be no flesh saved. Continue.
Verse 20, and except that the Lord has shortened those days, no flesh shall be saved.
See, and that's during the time of Esau. That's why everybody is so afraid of World War III, because they know that's the end all be all. This could be the very war that ends all war, and the end of that war is the end of humanity. That's why everybody's setting up. I got my finger on the plate. You see, that's the spirit of the Lord. That's during the time of Esau's reign, man. And the Lord said He's going to cut that time off.
God. But for the elect's sake, whom He hath chosen, He hath shortened the day.
That's it. You got it, huh? And that's why I say for the elect's sake, man. Because the elect will be saved out of time of Jacob's trouble, man. And in the midst of it, ain't like a lot of niggas teach that, who's that nigga Deacon? He teach that word, it's going to be a 7-year tribulation. Yeah, the elect ain't going to, no, the elect is going to be in the midst of the evils. Papa Bashar, 2 John 17. Papa Bashar, because at the end of the day, niggas going to have the understanding about prophecy, man. And once you truly understand, you know that the elect really going to earn their crown. You know? And a part of earning your crown is basically being in the midst of these terrible things that's going to happen upon the planet Earth.
Yeah, this St. John 17 and 15. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world.
Yeah, so really, it's gonna be a rapture. And it's just gonna be a couple people being, but everybody else gonna, and then it's gonna be a couple. No, man. The Lord said He should not take them out of the world, man. We're gonna be in the midst of these things. We're gonna actually be a witness into the family. We're gonna be a witness into people committing cannibalism, man. We're gonna be a witness until World War III happening, man. But also, ultimately, the Lord wouldn't be a part of that number. We're going to be a witness to those chariots, man. You know, you got it, bro.
But that thou shouldest keep, it says, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, But thou shouldst keep them from the evil.
Yeah, but thou shouldst keep them from the evil. And that's the reason why those days are going to be short in the latter days, man. Because ultimately we know that Esau, yes, he want 2/3 of our people. Yes, he want Jacob. But his eyes is narrowly against what? The elect, man. That's who he want to take the chip. That's who he want to turn. But like it says, the Lord said he's not going to, for lack of better words, the elect can't be deceived. You know, child brothers got it.
Yeah, I got one for you. Yeah, just going back on time passing, time speeding up. This is 2nd Ezra 4 and verse 26. It says, then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteth fast to pass away. See, and ultimately, maybe going into the so-called white man Esau Edom, in which he's the one who was holding the control, you know, in these times. His word is what's hasty fast to pass away, man. You know, this is why all these events is ultimately taking place. And even, you know, this guy's plans being revealed as far as micro C-Hook, you know, because everything is pretty much coming to its end. And it's the Lord that's speeding the time up. You know, you even have a NASA coming out telling you how, you know, in August, you're going to have, I know it was one day in July when we had a short date. You know, and they said also, I believe it's August 9th, and they're going to have another short date, man. But that's just how about Shema Shai. He's speeding the time up for the elect's sake, man. You see?
For the 2nd Ezra 2 and 13, it says, go, and you shall receive. Break for a few days unto you, that they may be short. The kingdom is already prepared for you. What?
Yeah, if I may. Because, like tell you in, what's that, 2nd Peter, that we hasty fast for the kingdom of heaven, for the lack of better term, huh? See? So even seeing these things is a saint to the point where you praying that the Lord speed the time, praying that he bring forth the children, man. You praying for more news of World War III. See, ultimately you praying for prophecy to be fulfilled. You know? And ultimately this is what's going to bring forth the kingdom of heaven. You know, it's not going to come how the so-called white man Esau Edom paint the picture of sun rays. You know, this guy pop up in the sky. And you hear goddamn hymns, you know, halos and shit flying. No, man. It's gonna come by way of disastrous events happening in the earth. That's what's gonna activate your house shot, man. Because he's a deliverer. You know? So events have to happen and the Lord has to deliver you from it, man.
Hey, real quick. Isaiah 26, and 20 real quick, I'm gonna read it. This is Isaiah 26 and 20. It says, come my people, enter into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain.
Yeah, and this was World War III, man. You know, this is when your house is going to come out of his place and judge the inhabitants. You know, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. You see? Yeah, your house is white, man.
That's it. If I made it, brother I always mention it, that fire and rescue. That's what's coming. That's what the Lord's going to bring upon the planet Earth. He's going to bring fire, but then he's going to bring that rescue to the saints, man. You know? And we're going to be able to see these things happen as well, because it's going to be a build up to the deliverance, man. You know? Matter of fact, if I what's that, Job 5 and 17, real quick, you know, it's going to be a build up to the deliverance. You know, you got to go through the famine. You know, basically, we got to see the things that we speak upon come into existence, man. You know what I mean? Because that's even going to, you know, put fear, but it's not just fear, it's going to be faith as well. We're going to know the Lord with us then at that point, because we prophesy these things, man. You see? What you got, bro?
Yeah, this Job 5 verse 19. It says, he shall deliver thee in 6 trouble. Yeah, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee.
That's it. He's going to deliver you in 6 troubles. You know, famine, pestilence. You might have to get in it with a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Ain't no telling. But the Lord going to deliver you at the end of the day, man. And he said in 7 shall no evil touch you, man. Those thermonuclear missiles, man. See, these people are that sacrifice set up for lives, man. See, just for us to have the kingdom of heaven, man. See, which we hope to be of that number, of course, man. Shot. You on that?
Yes, it says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword.
That's it. In famine he shall redeem thee in death. And that's the main thing a nigga fear too, man, not eating. Because he's so used to eat 4 or 5 times, you know, a day. The scripture say, matter of fact, brother, give me that Deuteronomy 8 and 2, if I'm not mistaken, and 3 what? Shot. You know, he humbled me. You know, a lot of you niggas gonna get humbled, man. You know? Because you so used to eating McDonald's at 2 o'clock in the morning, Taco Bell being open at 4. You know what I mean? But the Lord is gonna get ready to humble you when you're not gonna have that access anymore, man. But as for the elect, you see, they've been building up upon this word, man. You see, they've been building upon that staff, you know, the Holy One of Israel, that rock, you know.
Yeah, this is Deuteronomy 8 and 3. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger.
That's it.
And fed thee with manna, which thou knowest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he may make thee know that man doeth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh Shema Shai, doeth man live.
And that's it. Hey, man, some brothers done went through that, you know what I mean, just right now. You know, to the time when you know, bread was kind of short, Lord kind of humbles you a little bit, and then he make a miracle happen because you depended on him, man. All right, because you built up off his word, man. You know, you knew the scriptures. You know, and that's what's going, you know, really going into the being redeemed. It's going to really be us thinking upon the scriptures, man, that the Lord is going to make the miracles happen, man. You see? You got something like that.
In the book of Isaiah, 51 and 14, the captain exile hastened that he may be loose, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread shall fail.
He said his captain exile hastened that he may be loose. Yeah, really get the hell out of Babylon, bro, because there ain't nothing here for us, man. If you wait, and one thing about a pit, you're in a low area, underground. You actually, you know, people say, I'm so low, I'm looking up at the float, man. But some people know they looking at the city, but some people so low, they looking up at the float, man. And once you look at the estate, you know, Jake and General in Babylon, no matter if he damn a $50 man or even a $50 million man, at the end of the day, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to still remind that you're nothing but an Israelite. One guy, LeBron James, this nigga, they been trolling this nigga for the past couple days, and this nigga panicking. Because why? He want to stay in the pit. He want to stay in Babylon. This nigga really want to stay a slave. But as for us, man, we want to get out of here, bro. You know, our hope is not going to fail. And what's one of our hope, man? What's one of our major hope? That America being fucking destroyed, bro. Because soon as this place be destroyed, then the kingdom can get ushered in, man. You know, then life can really prosper throughout the whole planet Earth, man. But one thing about this society, they didn't teach these niggas like in K through 12, man. Only thing they taught you was death, man. They taught you the history of Esau, taught you how you got your ass beat, and how you got to shuck and jive to get here in this society, man. With this new mindset, we're coming up here to, you know, the kingdom shall take the sun, you know, it's like kind of excited, the saints shall take the kingdom. That's the mindset that we're having, man. Because one thing that we're going to do, we're going to do a perfect thing of justice. You had us in the pit, now we're going to put you in the pit, man. You know? You had us in chains, now you're going to be in chains, man. This is one of the things that we're hastening for. Prophecies of the Lord to come to pass, man.
I got you back up. Then Micah 2 and 10, it says, arise ye and depart.
Who's like my mate, rise ye and depart. Come from that lower state, man. Because like the brothers going into Babylon ain't shit but death, man. You know, we over here, we pushing life.
If I mean, I'm going from that low mindset and that lower state, man. Now, you can't tell a nigga shit because a nigga like being low. You can tell a homeless man, yeah, you get an application. Even a bride that's on drugs and shit. Real shit, bro. You know, just think, last night, this shit happened to take like in real life, bro, you can tell somebody on drugs, yeah, you need to do this, you do that. But guess what? They still gonna remain into that lower state because the Lord ain't really dealing with them, man. Like you see a lot of these people with demons on their, you know, they could be perfect, you know, they could be nice, as good as gold. But the reason why, because the Lord got them in that lower state because he didn't unlock that key for lack of better words, man. Read it again, man.
Yeah, it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Arise ye and depart, but this is not your rest. Because a lot of these drug addicts, they rest is drugs. You know, they rest is here in America. You know, going every day a nigga go down and get a nickel bag from ton. That's niggas everyday life. Man, but our everyday life is getting a nigga bag from your high shop. And we raising up with that mindset, man. You know, that might be distasteful, but we get this spiritual life from the Lord. Read it again.
Yep, it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
And the first thing it destroys is your mind. Because wherever your mind goes, the ass will follow. That's why, again, they taught you for 12 years, or 13 years, and if you got more added on, you know, may the Lord have mercy on you, man. Because the more you be in school, the more you be dumbed down and be polluted, man. Because the only thing they teach you is the curriculum of death. They teach you the curriculum of Esau, man. And you can see why the worst people that you ever met is a nigga that was in college, man. You know? A woman, worst woman you can ever get is a bride that's an AKA. She got a master's degree, she a RN.
Yeah, she got a Benz.
Yeah, she got a Benz. You know she got a Benz. She got a white. And even that bride, Quality Russell. You know, the bitch you lied to America and Alabama. She was a nurse. But guess what? That was the worst bitch you ever met, man. And that's what it is, bro. Your Harvard Shai is showing you the people who go into the ways of Esau, the production of your life, or the production of your characteristics is going to be death, man. Bitches bragging on abortions, you know? Niggas bragging on having sex with other men. That's sick, bro. And that's why your Harvard Shai is going to have to do a great reset in the form of those nooses. Because the only way that this polluted land can get cleansed is through those ICBMs, man. Baba Bushai, anybody, go back into that second Genesis, the 4th chapter. Because it goes back on it. In order for that good land to come, this current land must be taken out. You know? You got it, bro.
Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 4 in verse 28.
Sorry to listen.
Verse 26. It says, then he answered me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel.
Yeah, the more thou searchest, the more you shall marvel, man. You know, because you realize how crazy and fucked up this place is. You got it?
It says, for the world hates the fast to pass away, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous.
Yes, because ultimately this world is not going to compare into the world that we're going to have, man. 50 million, niggas, LeBron James, $50 million. Now, Jake, I can pay my rent with that. Okay. Only thing you can do is spend that shit up. You know? But the things that the Lord is going to give us is everlasting life, man. We're going to be able to go to universes and galaxies for eons and eons, man. Yeah, eternity, for the lack of better words, man. Everybody says cannot comprehend things that's promised for the righteous.
Giving you wisdom to benefit the earth. Right? And you know, Esau, the wisdom he presents, it destroys the earth, man. You know, you might come up with ideas that betters the ecosystem, man. And you're going to need that because the shit's so fucked up, man. See? It continue on to say, it says, they cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come.
In the time to come, which is really now. The only thing we have to do is play it out, man. You know, in order for us to get to the kingdom of heaven, we have to go through this current kingdom. Right?
For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee.
Yeah, this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Prophet Shah Brother can look up the word infirmity. You know, but we already know what unrighteousness is. A part of that unrighteousness is, you know, this nigga not keeping the land south. He is out the LGBTQ. He is out adultery. He even is out kids disrespecting their parents. That nigga DDG, little brother, nigga had a song, I'ma kill my. Nigga had a song about killing his mama and daddy, and he got 8 million views, man. That's how sick this society is, man. And it just tells you how a lot of these people are just plainly sick in the damn head. You know? Y'all really got that word?
Yeah, this is the definition of the word infirmity. It's physical or mental weakness.
Physical or mental weakness. And a lot of people are weak-minded here, man. Nigga, father Paul because he lost his job. A lot of it's assumed a nigga killed his daddy recently, man. You know, brother, I think a brother put that in what you call it. A nigga actually killed his daddy. How weak-minded can you get? And the first thing he say, yeah, he was mean to me when I grew up. Some bitch-ass shit, bro. When some brothers say he ain't got their fathers, man. Just showing you how these Americans take shit for granted, man. You got it.
Yeah, it says, but as concerning the things of it says, but as concerning the things of thou askest, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown but the destruction thereof is not yet come.
For the evil is sown. Now when was that evil sown?
That time of the Greeks.
Of America. Because you gotta realize it's sown. I used that, but that was that seed. No, that's the spirit. That seed was already over there in the east, but that seed got planted in the west in 1776. That's why I says that evil is sown. And that's how you know it's dealing with the country. You got it?
But the destruction thereof is not yet come.
Yes, because it's not the time to harvest it. It's not the time to reap it. Because it's gonna be a time when everything is placed sown, Esau's gonna reap it, man. You know, you got it.
It says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that it's sown with good.
So if you want to go to heaven, you know, if you want the kingdom of heaven to come, you must want the destruction of America to come too, man. Because that's going to be a part of the biblical timeline. The nation of Edom have to rule. You know, they have to come down, have a great wrath. They have to fulfill their lot, push forth the MOTP, and ultimately push out the Gnosis in order for the kingdom of heaven to be established on the planet Earth, man. And that's one of the things that we're preaching. You know, first thing to get how, you know, that is, Matthew 10, one thing he said, preach that the kingdom of heaven is here. The kingdom of heaven is gone. When we are on earth, the kingdom of heaven is in us, man. You know, anybody got something? Y'all brother got it?
Got something. This 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12, looking for and hastening to the coming of the day of Yahweh Shah, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fiery heat. And if I may, this is just what we look for, the destruction of this kingdom, right? We hastening to the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah, man. You see, exit the time diligently within themselves, all right, 2 Corinthians 9:1. See? When it says, nevertheless, we according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein the well of righteousness. That's what we see before. The promise of righteousness being put forth upon the planet earth. You see? There's much more out there than this fucking kingdom, man. You know, it ain't gonna stop at Babylon. You know what I mean? Babylon destroyed. He said Babylon be destroyed, not Russia in power. You know? Yeah, hey, unbelieving niggas like that be deleted. They gonna die with this place, man. Cause that's it. Cause they really just want to see this place keep going on and on, man. See?
One thing about somebody who's investing, they don't want to lose their investment. That nigga's fighting, you know, $200,000 a month. That's a Christian force wrong breakdown. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, you're gonna lose everything, man. You know, we want to lose this place because we invested in the heavens, man.
Yeah, now, man. In fact, if I may back it up, just going to that mindset as well, this Jeremiah 49, and I start at verse 40. Like Jeremiah 51 and verse 6, it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. So here it is, this is the commandment. So flee out of the midst of Babylon. But how do you flee out of the midst of Babylon, man? Not getting a plane ticket and going to Africa somewhere, or even on Israel today, you know, because you don't get turned around. But it starts by the way of your mind. Romans 12 and 2, right? It says, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So here it is, this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, man. That's why this place is waxing worse and worse. You know, she lost her birth. You know, things ain't the same. You know what I mean? What Jakey said, that vibe ain't there no more. You know, because ultimately, this bitch is, she's like, what's it?
Yeah, she ain't the same, bro.
Yeah, that's it, man. You seeing this bitch right through her makeup, man. You see? You know? That's it. It says Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
And if I may, that's how you know it was a such thing that America was in its golden age. Around 1950s, it was a golden age of basketball, a golden age of TV, and only thing you can go from there is down. That's why niggas comparing, you know, keep on bringing up nigga LeBron because he gonna die. The nigga and Michael Jordan. Niggas keep on comparing Michael Jordan and LeBron, but who LeBron wanted to be like? Michael Jordan. Because why? He played in the golden age of basketball, man. And after that, it was a decline, bro. The only thing you can get, like the statue of Daniel, the only thing you can get gold, silver, brass, and now you at the point with damn that iron mixed with stone and clay, man. You don't have the same value. Yeah.
Since Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand to make all the earth drunken, the nations were drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Man, what they drunken of? That philosophy, man. That way of life. You know, women twerking. You know, all of a sudden, when it was about 4 or 5 years ago, women can start driving over there in Palestine and Middle East, and like a year later, it's women that was twerking on damn street corners, man. And even though that's just something little that will grow into another thing, grow into something record. Now it leads women for adultery. You know, now it leads women for lesbianism, woman on woman now. Yeah.
If I may, I'm pretty sure y'all heard about China ban and OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're showing you the nations are mad because they understand that seed it grows, man. You know, and it just now you got a nation full of whores, man. You know, you can't do nothing with that, man. You know, you can't even raise children like upright with that, man.
And it's a perfect example. They say women are the for lack of better words, they are the face of not the face of the nation, but they shows you what quality of nation you are and the status of nation you are. And that's why you can see soon as the serpent came upon the scene, who he went to Eve. He didn't go to Adam because Adam wasn't going to take that shit, but that's how Esau been doing. He been pushing it through the women, man. You know, and LGXYZ, women's right, all those things. He catered to the women, and ultimately niggas would be so fucking sicked out so they can please their women.
It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed.
Yes, take balm for her pain if it's so deep that she may be healed. But this bitch can't be healed, man. Out of all the shit that these brides have done, you know, you go back into the Native Americans. Matter of fact, I'm going to give me Proverbs 6 and verse like 15, 14. Say, heal for her. Stay where you at, Rashad.
Yep, going back to Jeremiah 51 and verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain.
Take balm for her pain. And balm's supposed to be like a healing instrument. And that's what niggas try to do. That's those stimulus checks, build back better, even black-owned businesses. Black-owned businesses is trying to heal America, man. You know?
A lot of them bitches closed down, fam. I don't know if y'all know about that Creole spot.
By Egypt.
Yeah, he wasn't even open long enough, man.
But it was good food.
Yeah, it was good food.
But guess what? They did the church there in Babylon. You know? Oh, the back porch. Man, back porch. I ain't gonna lie. I struck a nerve there. Bad ass spot, good food. And they had a steady source of business coming in. But guess what? They failed, bro. Because why? It wasn't of the Lord. You know, this house be of the Lord, it shall stand, bro. Black-owned business is not what's up, bro, because it's a way you trying to fit in and stay in America, bro. You know, nigga, and even going back into niggas want the black dollar, niggas want a separate place for just Israelites. No, man. None of those things is not the solution. The solution is the destruction of America. That's it. You got it, bro.
Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed.
If so be, she may be healed. Now hold it up and give me what you got.
Proverbs 6:15. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy.
Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. Now look up that word remedy, man. It goes, we ain't gotta look it up, but it goes back into that word balm, man. A healing instrument, trying to soothe this place, man. But America would not be soothed until the destruction comes, man. Until that fire and brimstone hit this place and take this place out, man. You know, you got it, bro.
It says, going back, Jeremiah 51 and 9, would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Yep.
Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country.
And that's what these other nations is doing about a roundabout way, man. It was an Elamite over there where it was an Elamite that owned like a chevron, and they been owning that motherfucker about like a year or so, and they finally sold it to like 2 Edomites, man. You know, and it just shows you that all these nations, they just getting their money and sending it back home. But it's going to get to a point where they're just going to go home and say, fuck America. Because ultimately, this place is only used for money, man. It tells you that in the book of Revelations, the 18th chapter. These nations not come. The American dream, when you look up the source of the American dream, it's really just to come over here and get money, man. Go over here, get money, and send it back into your folks, man. That's the American dream, but the American dream is dying as we get closer and closer to the end. You got it, bro.
For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky.
Yeah, so Yahweh Shemel Shai have this place numbered, man. You know, and ultimately it's only a matter of time before the Lord comes down on this place with fire and brimstone. But certain things must come to pass, man. We already know that the MOTB must be pushed forth, man. The mark of the beast, which is a major part of prophecy. You know, but once they get pushed forth out, World War III starting to kick off, you know, the end all and the be all is going to be what? The missiles here. Because it's an indefinite point of time when the missiles will land upon the soils of America. Brother can give me that. I think it's like Revelations 9th chapter. There'll be a day and time, second portion, second, third, fourth, fifth. So that's going to be an indefinite point of time. You know, no matter who wins a Super Bowl, no matter who, if the Lakers go undefeated, no matter if LeBron James get another ring, all that shit don't matter. What matters is what's happening with the scriptures. Thus saith the Bible. You know?
Yeah. Revelation 9:15. Revelation 9 and 15. And the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day.
Yeah, and real talk. Now real talk. Let's go ahead and let's get the breakdown on this. Baba Bashar brother can get Revelation the 7th chapter. To show you. Because ultimately in this destruction, it must be a deliverance. Like the brother mentioned earlier, that fire and rescue. And people say, well, why the destruction ain't come yet? Certain things must play out, man. You know, you can't jump the gun when it comes to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Let's stop.
Revelation 7 and 1. It says, and after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth.
Yeah, now, is those four angels different? No, they're the same thing. Okay?
It says, holding the four winds of the earth, and that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Yeah, and now that wind is talking about that destroying wind that's written about, and I think that's Jeremiah 50 or Jeremiah 51.
51 and 1.
Yeah, 51 and 1, which is actually the aftershock. Because once the missiles hit, it will be a million degrees worth of wind that's going to knock a lot of things out, man. That's going to melt a lot of things. And there's angels that's actually having control over that, man. Come on.
Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will rise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me.
That rise up against the Lord. Come on.
A destroying wind.
A destroying wind, which is in the form of those missiles, man. Come on.
It says, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land.
Yes, because ultimately, what the missiles is going to do is cleanse this place out, man. Purge this place from all its infirmities, man. And what's the best place? What's the best quality of material to purge this place out with? Fire and brimstone and death, man. So it can be a clean slate when it comes to the kingdom of heaven, man. You know? You know what I'm saying?
It says, for in that day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
In the spirit, that's why it's speaking about a day. So it's a certain point, indefinite point of time when Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to destroy these people.
Right. All right, go. It says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. That's Yahweh Shemel Shai telling you, like, when he come back, that he's going to bend the bow. The same way that Esau decided to bend the bow against the nation of Israel because they surround us round about. The Lord is going to bring Esau to the Middle East to surround them round about. He's going to what? Shoot missiles on them. America, because one thing I've been learning, America has a ocean buffer. It has ocean privilege, which means it has the ocean to buffer its enemies against. But through IBCM missiles, they no longer have that ocean buffer anymore. You see, these missiles can get over here in 30 minutes. So you being so far away, like you can't say, hey, I got a station over here in Panama. That means nothing now. The Lord say, I'm gonna shoot missiles on you. I really got you surrounded because He has put all of His enemies round about Esau, because all of these heathens are pissed at these tariffs that Trump is bringing against them.
It's no coincidence that all these different nations got what? Missile capabilities.
Yep.
When there's North Korea, a little small country like that, they got that thing for your ass, man. And it just put a certain humbly upon these Americans. Because you go back to Fat Boy and Little Boy when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that changed war as it knew it. Because soon as those bombs dropped, people, they gave up, man. And they know, next time we get into these niggas, they gonna do it again. And it's a sense of fear when it comes to those ICBM missiles, and that's why everybody have a nervous point when it comes to it.
Yeah, that's why.
Man, that's how you know. So like, that's how you know it's gonna really be a high by Shemai Rashad that's gonna push these different buttons, man.
Yeah, that's why you had the Cold War.
Yeah,
the Cold War was simple. Everybody understood, like, damn, I might not want to push that button because, hey, it's the end all be all. That's why it was an armistice race after that. Who can stockpile the most missiles?
But I got something for you, brother. I'll pass it back. It's a lot. All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 28.
It says, but as concerning the things whereof thou hast asked me, I will tell thee. So this is Ezra asking an angel. All right? For the evil is sown, but the destruction, the brother's going into, the destruction thereof is not yet come. See, so the destruction is not yet come, but it's being broken down unto you now. That we can clearly see that missiles finna be shot on this place. That's the end all be all in all conversations now. Hey, missile, war. We know it is no more ground troops. That is archaic.
Yeah, it's out the window.
Yeah, shooting guns, putting boots on the ground, that's archaic, man. It's only drones and missiles now.
And that's how and it's really a part of the way. In 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, measured out the time diligently. Once the missiles got upon the scene, man, there ain't no other questions you should ask, man. Yeah, the Lord is not going to take this place down because there's certain niggas saying it's going to take the place down for volcanoes and thunderings, natural disasters. Fuck no, man. You have to understand it. He's going to take this place down through ICBM missiles. But like I said, it's a definite day. It says the destruction is not yet gone. Because why? Certain prophecies must come to pass, and one of those prophecies is the MOTV. It's written about that is 1 Corinthians 14 and 41. Let all things be done decently and in order. Do you know it's even talking about the prophecies, man? So in order for the missiles to hit, guess what? The senior have to be pushed out there, man. And also what? The elect have to be gathered. Go back to that Revelation 7.
Yeah, Revelation 7.
Or you got something?
No, I was
Yeah, I'm feeling something. So going back to that wind.
Okay, this is back in Revelation 7. All right, it says, I'll start from the top.
Yeah.
And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. He cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
You got power over the missiles, showing you that Yahweh Shemai shall control all these things. Come on.
It said, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the service of our power to the service of our power Yahweh in their forehead.
Yeah, so guess what? The missiles ain't going to even come until the elect be sealed. It's just showing you it's an indefinite day when Yahweh Shemai Rashad is going to come and destroy this place. But before that day comes, certain things must come to pass, the gathering in of the elect, man. Because again, people are going to be destroyed, but it's going to be certain people that's going to be preserved from that destruction. That's why it says, hold on, chill out. Let's go ahead and seal the elect, and then we can destroy the rest, man. I even tell you that in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, instead of destroying the whole break, you got a couple of big clusters in there, man. So you got to
Continue in 7. I'll read verse 3. It says, Revelation 7 and 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees till we have sealed the servants of our power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, in their forehead.
It's talking about the elect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ezekiel 9 and 4 being marked with the exemption. Exemption from what? Judgment. You know, but you can go back to Revelation 9 chapter, because that judgment is going to hit everybody who don't have that law. Everybody who don't have those good graces of the Lord. You know, got it?
This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 15, Salah. And the 4 angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay the third part of men.
So it was angels that were set loose for a definite point of time to destroy the third part of men. Now, who is the third part of men? Esau, Edom, the sons of who? The sons of the wicked, the sons of the perdition. Which goes back into wicked destruction. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, if I could just add to the brother, just for clarification from Jake's out that third part, because the first part of men are the sons of God, and the sons of men, which are all heathens outside of Esau. The ultimate heathen, the two top people on the planet Earth you got the sons of God, you got the wicked, and what falls in the middle and at the bottom are the sons of men. So that's what the scriptures is referring to, the third part of man.
It's
Esau.
The antagonist.
Done. All right, continue. All right, it says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000.
That's translated to 200 million. You can say, that ain't 200 million, you know, niggas want to get technical, but you didn't equate the warheads, man. Iran have a thing, I think Iran and Iraq, they have a thing, it's called Missile City, which actually is an underground city that stockpiling missiles, man.
All right, and it says, all right, going into that warhead, what the brother was talking about, that makes it 200 million missiles, right? All right, verse 19. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. So when you're looking at the head, that's speaking to the nuclear tip. But the tail is the delivery system, the propulsion system that actually brings forth that fiery head. All right? So that's what the scriptures is going into. It says, I'll read back, for the power is in their mouth. So at the tip of that missile is their mouth. That's where he shall open forth and let forth his fury. It says, and in their tails. Why? Because their tails get them there. For their tails were like serpents, which lets you know that it was what? It was an ICBM missile. It was a snake-like cylinder. All right?
Matter of fact,
19.
it's 17.
Jumping up to 17.
Yeah.
Jumping back up to 17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision.
Now, horses is the representation of what? Power, man. You got it?
And them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions.
It says the heads of the horses was as the heads of lions. And that's even when they break through that ozone layer, it's going to be like a little fire, you know. It's going to be like a little firewall. It's going to actually look like a lion's mane. But ultimately, that lion represents what? Power too. You know?
It says, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone.
Fire and smoke and brimstone, the same thing that Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed with, man. And boy, he's going to use the same thing to destroy this place today. Got it?
By these three was the third part of men killed.
And who is, if we just go into the third part of man, because Esau Edom and his society as a whole, because ultimately it's not going to be no Bart Simpson dog or anything that's remaining in the house of Edom once we start issuing the kingdom of heaven. Man. All the remnants of him is going to be thrown out, and it's going to be stepped. It ain't going to be like after the Roman Empire, you know, they're going to come back again and rise another phoenix. That's what these guys hoping. Because once the missiles hit this place, this is the end all be all, man. And the only thing we gotta look forward to is righteousness. Come on. Yeah. Brother, got it.
Book of Psalm 11, verse 6.
That's it.
Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire, and brimstone.
Yeah, he shall rain snares, fire, and brimstone. In the spirit, why it's called a snare, because the Lord gave Esau a weapon for his defense. But this is going to be the same thing the Lord is going to use to take him out. You got it?
It says, in a horrible tempest, this shall be the portion of their cup.
It says, in a horrible tempest, this shall be the portion of their cup. And that's really talking about what? The destruction, man. That hot fire that millions and millions of degrees that's going to flood through the planet. For the lack of better words, ultimately to cleanse this place so the kingdom of heaven can be established. You know, you got it. Sit on that.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 9 and verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
You got it, right.
And if I may just going into World War III, you see, even the reason why the missiles is on the scene, man, because this is that war where that fuel of fire is going to be used, man. You know, and like he tell you how the age of war was with confused noises, but this is going to be with that burning the fuel of fire, ultimately showing you that these missiles is going to be used to destroy America. What you got,
Hey, this Joel 2 and verse 1. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is not at hand. And, hey, that's what we're doing, ultimately, blowing that trumpet. We're warning you, going into the precepts, for showing you these missiles and what they're put here for, man. What the Lord said, I created the smith, and blow up the coals in the fire, right? And continue, it says, Joel 2 and 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and a thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after.
If I may add, those great people, it's not because certain niggas say they're talking about the Chinese army. Niggas will break it down like that. But those great people is talking about the ICBM nuclear missiles. That's why I said there shall be none alike. Read that again, last part.
It says, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
It shall be any more after it into many generations. Telling you how Isaiah 2 is going to come to pass when they shall not mind war anymore. You know, yeah.
It says a fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burning.
And that sounds like the same thing we just read with the Jason and the lion's head and the brimstone. That's the same thing, man. The names might change and the parables might get switched up, but the story stays the same, man. It's talking about the destruction of Babylon. Yeah.
It says the land is as the Garden of Eden before them.
And that's what people think America is, paradise. That's why it's a such thing called the American dream. But your American dream is going to be interrupted by fire and brimstone, man. You got it?
Behind them, a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Nothing shall escape them. And that's why we read Revelation the 7th chapter. Because you got to have that Torah in order to escape these things, man. You know? Only way you can escape the ICBM missiles, you have to go up. Yeah. Come on.
It says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses. And as horsemen, so shall they run.
And that's the spirit. We just, Revelation 9th chapter, they were saying something about horses, which represent power, but it says as horses shall they run, man. Because ultimately you're gonna heal the missiles too before they come, man. Come on.
It says like the noise of chariots.
And even once they land, when you hear a horse gallop, the missiles gonna be walking up on people. You know what I'm saying? Do. And how a horse gallop, like da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. That's how it's gonna be, man. You got it.
It says like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains. Shall they leap?
Shall they leap? And what it means, they're gonna leap over mountains, yes. You can say, yeah, they're gonna leap over Nepal. No, those mountains, those different governments. It's gonna be people that's gonna shoot missiles. They're gonna go over Germany, over the UK, and it's gonna land on the US, man. You know, it's gonna be missiles that's gonna pass over Russia, and they just gonna shoot straight towards the US, man. You know, that's what it means, you got it?
It says like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble.
Yeah. It's gonna be like a furnace, man. Anybody ever worked in the furnace, imagine it like 200,000 times, bro. Because that propulsion system, that's a lot of power to get over here on the west, man. So you're gonna hear it before it hits, man. Nigga saying, what's that sound is, and all of a sudden you look up and the missile gonna be there.
Because it was thinking about the rocket, when they so-called launch those rockets, how loud that is and how far the people gotta be out to hit it. So shit, what more when it's coming to you?
It says, as a strong people set in battle array, behold, their face, the people shall be much pain.
Yeah, and that's why I say a strong people. Because once you see them, you know you're not going to be able to defeat them. That's why it says in their faces, it's going to be such strong pain because niggas ain't going to have no hope then. We won't have all the hope in the world because there's going to be time for Yahweh Shema to come. But for the people who don't know, they're going to lose all hope, man. That's why it says in their faces, it's going to gather blackness, man. Come on.
It's like it says, before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war.
Yeah, they golden dome that Esau got. The missile's gonna pass that shit, bro. That golden dome that you talking smack about, this shoddy ass X, and Yahweh Shema have already got it figured out. Come on.
They shall march every one on his ways. They shall not break their ranks.
They shall not break their ranks. And it's gonna be 200 million of those things, man. And they all gonna be in order because a lot of times people go, it's a crowded situation and they just gonna bump into each other. No, it's gonna be a calculated destruction, man. Because not all 200 millions is gonna hit Babylon, but it's gonna be a lot. You know what I'm saying? You got it?
Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path.
That's how you know the Spirit of the Lord is gonna be on these different devices, man. That's going to be a part of the anger of Yahweh Shema Rashah being made manifest. Come on.
And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city.
Yeah, they say when they fall upon the sword, when you go into that golden dome, it's going to be Esau think he got the victory. Boom, big explosion, niggas clapping, yeah, we saved. And all of a sudden, it's 3 more that came out of that, man. Because ultimately, again, those ICBM missiles is going to totally outweigh that golden dome that Trump built, man. He built it on the fly, and ultimately he's not going to have no true way to test it until those ICBM missiles really go over here. Because even you go into the Iron Dome in Israel, it took years for them to perfect it, man. You just can't jump up there, and then America is a big land, for lack of better words, and a lot of those defense missiles is going to come out and see from different submarines. All that shit is not really going to work, man. Because again, you're doing it on the fly, and ultimately, again, Yahweh Shema Rashah wants this place to be totally wiped out. Come on.
It says, they shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
And the windows is talking about what? The ozone layer, man. Because the reason why they intercontinental ballistic missiles, they can go out the Earth's atmosphere, and then they'll wait and they'll glide into their destination. As soon as they there, they put their eyes on the target, man. As soon as they start coming out, now the warheads coming. And ultimately, in the matter, they say in the matter of, I forgot, it's like a timeline. In the matter of damn 2 minutes, your ass can die, man. As soon as you see it, as soon as it got its direct target, in the matter of a couple of minutes, you will die, man. And that makes Revelations with the 18th chapter, that 60 minutes, that makes much more sense. Once the word hypersonic missile, once all these words get thrown around, it makes more sense. Come on.
It says, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great.
Yes, and the Lord is uttering his voice before his army right now by pushing forth the prophets, man. We telling you about the destruction before it's come, man. And that's how all great kings did. You go into Xerxes in that movie 300, before he actually came down, and it's the same thing the Lord is doing now. Before he come down and really destroy Babylon, he's sending prophets out there. He's sending us out there. You got it.
It says, for he is strong that executed his word, for the day of the Lord is great and very terrible.
Yeah, the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Going back into that day, man, when 200 thousands will be scattered throughout the whole planet Earth, man. That day when America be destroyed, and ultimately that day when it's the end of our captivity. Because that's the reason why we keep talking about the destruction, because that's the end of our suffering, man. And the beginning of your suffering. You know? Come on.
And who can abide it?
And who can abide it, man? Ultimately, only the elect will be delivered from these times. You know? Anybody got something?
Yeah, I got something for you. Going back into those missiles. This is Ezekiel 21 and verse 8. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus said the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished."
Now, who is that sword? Matter of fact, probably Kushai, brother, give me Genesis 27 and verse 40. Because that sword actually links to somebody. You know, that sword is not talking about Elam or Ishmael. We're going to see who that sword is talking about. Stay where you at, Malachi. We're going to jump in.
This is Genesis 27 and 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother.
Matter of fact, start at verse 38.
This is Genesis 27:38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
So Esau, which is today the so-called martyr white man, he was asking for a blessing. You know, he was asking the Lord to bless him with something. So when he blessed him,
Continuing, it says, And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
so the Lord actually told him about Job 9:24. The fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. You know, you got it.
And thy sword shall live, and shall by thy and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother.
Yeah, he says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Telling you that Esau was blessed with the sword, man. Esau was blessed with the weapon, unlike anybody else, man. That's why when you go into Abraham, Esau, the different Oppenheimers and these different people, nobody was able to tap into their technology except the Edomites. You know, the Temanites, the Germans, you know, and really they set up for their downfall, set up for their snap. That was something there?
I'll finish off. It says, And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Go back into that Ezekiel.
Yeah,
Just going back into that sword, man. Because again, that sword is talking about Esau and his weaponry, man. You know, when it goes back to Isaiah, I have set up on. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 54 and verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
And who is that smith? Esau Edom. The Lord said, I have created the smith. So the Lord created Esau to be a blacksmith of weaponry, man. Come on.
Bringing forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
And what is that? Those ICBM missiles, man. Nigga became the destroyer of worlds when he started splitting those albums, man. You know? You can go back where you were, Malachi.
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 21 and verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus said the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished.
Yep.
It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter.
In this spirit, it says a sword is sharpened. And a part of it being sharpened, at first they had the atomic bomb. You know, when they got a nigga with a plane, and the plane gotta be so fast, unless the pilot, he'll die too. But now they speed up, and now they have nuclear missiles, and now they got hypersonic missiles. That's a part of that sword being sharpened, man. You know? Because ultimately, Yahweh Shemal Shai, he's increasing the technology of Esau so he can destroy himself faster, man. Because if it was just atom bombs, America would be destroyed in 1 hour. No, but at the same time, when you introduce hypersonic missiles, it makes much more sense, man. Yeah, brother.
Yep, it says,
because again, that sword being sharpened, in the sword, this nigga at first, World War I and World War II, when this nigga actually fought in World War I, he changed the ways of war. You know, when he fought in World War II, he changed the ways of war. So how it's going to be in World War III? You got it?
Yep, it says that it is furbished, that it may glitter. Should we then make murder?
Yeah, so you did be partying and bullshit? Come on.
It says, it continued the rod of my son, that's every tree, and he has given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
Yes, because ultimately it's going to be Yahweh Shai who's going to put the spirit on Esau to destroy these people, man. And ultimately to even destroy his damn self. But the Lord, he's in control of all these things that's happening upon the planet Earth, man. You know, so again, the sword being sharpened and furbished is talking about how the Lord is putting the spirit on these Edomites to create different weapons. You know? Yeah, but it's got to ask.
Got some for you real quick, Buckshot. Matthew 26:52. Then said Yahweh Shai unto him, and put up again thy sword into its place. All that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
It says, all that take the sword shall perish with the sword, man. You know, because ultimately, he that lives by the sword shall die by the sword. That's why Jacob gave Esau a warning. He said, and by thy sword shalt thou live. And what Yahweh Shai said, you got it. Because Yahweh Shai, he is Isaac. And when he told Peter, he said, pull up thy sword. Read it again.
Yeah. Matthew 26:52. Then Yahweh Shai said unto him, put up again thy sword into its place. All that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
All that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Esau, he's the ultimate sword. Yeah. And for lack of better words, Esau, he's that ultimate sword, so he's going to perish by the same thing that the Lord gave them. Papa Shah, brother, can get Psalm 7. Come on.
Yeah, in the book of Psalms, chapter 7, and verse 16, and it says, his mischiefs shall return upon his own head.
Hey, so what? And then I got Galatians 6 and 7 in mind. You know what I'm saying?
I got the belly of the dry bone.
Oh, that's the spirit, man. You gotta read that again.
Yep, going back, Psalm 7 and verse 16, and it says, his mischiefs shall return upon his own head, his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate.
And that's talking about what? Those different ICBMs. Because he thought the missiles was going to be a tool for his prolonging kingdom, but the missiles is going to be the tool to destroy his kingdom, man. Because that's what he's been using so long to keep the world at bay. I'm gonna hit the button. I'm gonna hit the button. Better watch out now. But now everybody got that button. Everybody's gonna make it, man. You got even North Korea, man. You don't even hear nothing about North Korea, but they got that button for you, man. So again, Yahweh Shai have made an evil laying playing field when it comes into the nation of Esau. Because they have been running rapid, they have been destroying the whole planet Earth, doing shit scot-free without any damn judgment behind them, man. But their ultimate judgment is coming upon them, man. Okay?
Wait, Buckshot. Wisdom of Solomon 1, now start verse 7. When the Spirit of the Lord filled the world, that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice.
Yep.
Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid.
Yes, he that unspeaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, man. Esau tried to hide under the nation of the so-called white man. Nigga tried to hide as Etruscans. Yeah. Europeans, niggas came up with anything. I'm Swiss. I'm not white, I'm Swiss. British. I'm British, man. I'm not white. I'm Scottish. You know? Yeah, I'm heathen sheep.
Claim Egyptians, man.
Yeah, nigga claim Egyptians, man. But that's how he tried to hide, bro. But the Lord have exposed them. That's on what? They're 2 Thessalonians, man. You got it?
And it says, neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, pass by it.
Yeah, so when the missiles come, they ain't gonna be like, oh, Esau got a pass. No, man. They gonna come straight for Esau ass, bro. For all the wickedness that he have done, because everything the man sowed, that shall he reap. And what have this guy sown throughout the planet Earth? Death, murder, and damn destruction. It tells us that in the book of St. John, the 10th chapter, how a thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy. And this nigga have been living up to his name since he's been in power, man. You know, if you don't believe me, just ask the Native Americans. You know, you got a lot.
Verse 9. For inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his word shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds.
And that inquisition means a deep interrogation, man. So we examine this guy, you know, like this nigga Esau, man. You know, you the one, and that's the spirit. You can realize why Esau doing all this because he know that the judgment that Cain is going to get. You know, Cain said, my judgment is greater than I can bear. And for lack of better words, he did 3-card money with the nations. So, you know, it was a point when people couldn't tell who was who. You know, people like, who, you know, some people knew who Elon was, the Persians. You know, something like, they knew who the Persians was.
That's Iran.
You know, they knew what Iran was. Like, they knew about Iran. They knew they was the Persians. You know, some people even know that the black people was Israelites. But one major question was who was the Edomites, man. And one thing that these Edomites did, they tried to blame it on Japheth. Like Japheth had the power to drop bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. You know, but you can read that again, not so long.
In the book of Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse 9, for inquisition shall be made to the counsels of the ungodly.
And that's that deep interrogation. So when you look into the scriptures and you look into reality of what's going on right now, you can identify who the wicked is. Come on.
And the sound of his word shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds.
The Lord is going to get his ass for the manifestation of his wicked deeds, because we're not complaining for no reason. No, the Lord can look down on the heavens and say, oh, I see why I set this part up. I'm going to get this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because even then, we put curses upon Esau either, but we also put curses upon 2/3 of our people too, man. Because they doing the works of Esau. If Esau would have never introduced wickedness into Jacob, for lack of better words, we'll be righteous, man. But again, through the perfection of the story, that had to happen. You know, y'all brothers.
No, I just want to add to that brother's point. You'll read the first part back, Uncle Shal.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 9. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse 9, for inquisition shall be made to the counsels of the ungodly.
And through that inquisition that was made, man, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Awashai, through the prophets going out to the highways and byways, that has piqued the interest and caused people. You know, have you ever ran across and had a moment where I want to think new thoughts, I want to know something new? Well, that was the spirit of the Lord jumping on you to have an understanding for something greater, because, hey, you didn't understand this thing that you were seeing. The Lord caused the prophets to come out to go into that inquisition to a point that I came across a TikTok or Instagram clip where it was a Moabite. And we know Moab. Hey man, Moab, he's backwards thinking, just to say the least. It was a female. She came out and said that, yo, I'm starting to see that the propaganda of America has taught everybody to hate these black people.
Yeah.
What is it? So what has he done so hateful to you guys to make you guys do the things that you've done to him? It's no record that he's done any evil to you. Why are you treating them that bad? I'm kind of starting to think that you guys know something that we don't, and you're making everybody hate them because you know that they're great. They don't know it, but you know it. So F.A. You know how you want to call. And if a Moabite can get it, man, yo, man, it's clear and it's evident, man. The truth is out there, man.
They might be an Israelite.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
He might be an Israelite, because again, they resonate with the truth, man. They resonate with their people, because they just like, if somebody, like Issachar, for like people, we hate Issachar, but you still have, Jacob still have compassion, like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? God damn, Issachar, because that's your people. But like a better word, but at the same time, we know he's well deserved. But you got to
yeah, but just to finish out the point was, if Moab can get it, man, how can you people get it? Because as a brother said, I do believe I believe that was a Jake, but that shows you they're watching us over there in their land. Why? Because they need to hear something. Even though we don't know what lies they being told, they know they ain't being told the truth. So the great inquisition that was made by the prophets here in America, man, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Awashai, has got the world on fire, man. And that's going to bring the ultimate fire to Esau.
God, it says, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds.
Yeah, like that's the manifestation of his wicked deeds. His brother said, man. The Lord heard that. Now he got a reason to destroy Esau, man. You know, they were pretty much enough with that.
Yeah, I got some. Yes, Rock 35, verse 14. Do not despise the supplication of fathers, or the widow which is poured out. Right.
That's the reason why Ezekiel 9 and 4. Sign and cry for all the abominations they get done in the midst thereof. Even once you go into the word preacher, I'm thinking strong G, it actually goes like it's somebody crying openly, man. Wisdom cries out. She uttered her voice in the streets. And what we complaining about, man? We complaining about Esau and how wicked this system is. It makes our men that grew up to be emotional. Niggas grew up listening to 90s R&B. Now he's simply every bitch, man. Nigga, every day the nigga got a quote for the women. You know what I mean? Straight up, man. Every day this nigga on Instagram calling out for a bitch, man. Because he's simping, bro. And the only reason why you think like that because America brought you up, man. They gotta get out that mindset. You know? I love them, you know? I love my black queens. Yeah, get there, man. You got it. And that's one thing we complaining about, because ultimately, Jake is just in a dumb ass, they're in a dumb state, for the lack of better words, man. And the only way they're going to get out of that dumb state is through guilt, man. You got it?
God, do not the tears run down the widow's cheeks, and it's not her cry against him that causes them to fall.
Yeah, and who was that widow? We are those widows, man. Because our husband, Yahweh Shai, he died, man. You know, and who was our complaint against the ones that caused us to fall? Our enemy, Esau evil. Come on.
Verse 16, he that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds.
And that's the spirit. I know brothers, I put a curse upon a nigga a couple of weeks ago, man. And Yahweh Shai got that nigga the other day, man. Really last week, man. Called Yahweh Shai. And when I got the man, I ain't gonna lie, I got the news, I was at work and shit. And Jake was tired, Jake had a hard day that motherfucker. They worked, Jake, like a slave. But man, it was beautiful, man. And Jake came to me like, man, you heard about so-and-so? I'm like, no, man, what's going on? He said, yeah, man, he just got arrested. You know, I'm like, oh, baby, the spirit, he got fired the week before. You know what I'm saying? Nick was really previous, man. Then the week after that, he got arrested. And I was like, hey, you know, Jake had him. They did evidence that the rest of the day. Because why the judgment of the Lord came to pass, bro. And even some simple things, bro. When you in a rap and the Lord put you out that damn line, bro, that's beautiful, man. That's a part of the Lord answering your prayers. And it could be a dangerous situation. Daniel in the lines there, he was fucked up, man. But as soon as he got out there, what he did? Called lawyer, how about shot, man. You got it?
God. It says the prayer of the humble pierces the clouds. Until it come nigh, he would not be comforted.
Yeah, until it come nigh, he would not be comforted, man. And that's why it says, he have watchmen on his walls that would never hold their peace. Day and night shall we cry out, man. Because again, when the brothers, when we close down, it's gonna be some brothers that's gonna open up, man. And when it's some brother, you know, it's a well-oiled machine of this truth, man. That's asking the Lord for prayers, and we're not asking for vain things, man. We're not asking for victory holes. We're not asking to prosper in this society. We're really asking for the will of the Lord to be done. Even when you ask the Lord to let a nigga, you know, put a curse on a nigga to die, that's really the will of the Lord. You know, you got it.
It says, and will not depart to the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment.
And that reminds me of the persistent widow. You know, Bible Shop, you brothers know what that is? That Luke, I think it's Luke 16. You know? I think it's like Luke 16, one around that age, around that persistent widow. She was going into a wicked king, a wicked judge, man. And ultimately she was, you know, for lack of better words. Y'all got, I think it's 18. You got it, brother got it.
Yeah, this Luke 18 and verse 1, it says, and he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men are always pray and not to faint.
And that's again, those widows' cheeks. You praying until your complaint be answered, you know, got it.
And it says, saying, there was in a city a judge which feared not the Most High.
So it was a wicked judge, man. You got it.
Neither regarded man.
Yeah, neither regarded man, so he ain't had no respect for persons, you know, you got it.
It says, and there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of thine adversary.
Now, come on, that's the spirit of us, man. Avenge me of my adversaries. Avenge me from Esau, Edom, and all that, because again, Esau ain't just out with your ass in his lifetime, man. Either your granddaddy ass, your great-granddaddy, and your great-granddaddy, which probably was you. You know, that, and again, it's been a cycle of us getting beat down as a people. And every time we came back, you know, Lord wouldn't be a part of that number. Every time we came back, we had the same complaint, man. Because this beef between Jacob and Esau didn't just start, man. This is a generational thing. You know, you got it, bro.
It says, and he would not for a while, but afterwards he said within himself, though I fear not the Most High, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubled me, I will avenge her, lest by her continuing coming, she weary me.
Yes, because their persistent sign and crying will ultimately get your prayers answered, man. You know, us crying and sighing against Esau, Edom, sighing and crying against this place of America, Babylon the Great, and all the wickedness that goes on here. Ultimately, the Lord is going to hear our prayers and say, come, my child, you know, and let the missile see. You know, but before that day comes, when he says, wait, my man, always be instant in prayer, man. Always to pray and not to think. Because certain niggas, they'll pray for America to be destroyed, then a couple of years later, they want America to be destroyed. You know, we want America to be destroyed today, but certain niggas, we want America to be destroyed within 1,000 years. You know, and the reason why you want America to be destroyed then, because you have investments here, man. And you don't want your investments to be lost here because you're so engrafted and wrapped up in this society. And really what you wrapped up in is what this place have to offer. Really it's what? The flesh of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, which is totally enmity against the Most High, man. But it's sexy to people, man. You know? What y'all brothers got?
I got one for the brother. Second Ezra 6 and 58. This brother was going into those righteous prayers, those righteous supplications. And we know Ezra was always asking for something, man. He was always asking a question. He was asking for a blessing, for understanding. Right? 6 and 58, it says, but we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, because we're likening us to that woman waiting on that adoring bride, as the brother was going into that widow, right? Are given into their hands. So, hey, he having his way with us right now, right? But, hey, we